Hi everyone, LiberAnarchy here. I have several things I should be doing, so I thought I'd make a video. This video is regarding the idea of being fairly agnostic and pragmatic and skeptical without automatically rejecting possibilities. Um, However unlikely those possibilities may be. But see, that's the thing. It's one thing to say, this probably isn't happening, this probably doesn't exist, versus, surely to goodness, it just simply can't exist, period, end of story, and I won't even examine new information as it arises. Which I understand isn't what the vast majority of YouTube skeptics, atheists, agnostics, deists, etc. advocate. If, for example, there was compelling evidence for the Judeo-Christian God, then many would indeed change their beliefs. Keep in mind, I said compelling evidence, so good luck with that one. But anyway, good luck trying to produce that. So far, Anyway, so I was having a conversation with my mom the other day. She, out of the blue, said, "Are you 100% certain we go on?" And I'm like, "No." And so we got into this conversation about the possibility of life after death. And I was saying things like, well, the human mind is very powerful, and telling her about how I very frequently have hypnagogic hallucinations. When she brought up an experience that I told her about, where I felt like something was sitting on my chest, and I felt like it was a real being. And I argued with the thing until sunrise. I didn't get any sleep that night because I sat there in a half asleep state arguing with the damn thing. Yeah, I have a sleep paralysis, and this stuff is normal for me, so I've gotten to the point, not where nothing could scare me or something like that. In fact, last night I had a nightmare, in fact, and I'm pretty used to nightmares, but it scared me. When I woke up, I purposefully stayed awake long enough such that I wouldn't be thinking about the nightmare, but I was thinking things like, oh, poor mom has to get up to go to fucking jury duty, and, oh, I gotta take care of the dog, and whatever. Okay. So, my point is, and I don't talk about this stuff too often because people will make assumptions about you if you say these things, like make assumptions about what you believe, what you don't believe, make assumptions about, oh, well, you must be a Satan worshiper or a witch, and then my response is, yes, I do worship myself, thank you very much. But anyway, so, she and I were talking about these experiences, and I was telling her how this stuff is very common. The human mind is very powerful. So it's more likely, I think, that these experiences are produced via the human mind. That does not, however, mean that I completely and utterly discount the possibility of some sort of existence after the body dies for something else, like energy, or what some people would call a soul, or maybe, well, of course, what would be the avenue for consciousness, I don't know. Unfortunately, people just say a soul, and who wants to actually define their terms when they say soul? I don't know. But by all means, if you want to respond to this video and talk about what you believe the soul is or something, I'm very happy to hear from you. I like this discussion, actually. Is there something that exists of us in a meaningful way after we die? And maybe we have, well, yes, in the sense that we feed the planet and we leave behind, hopefully, friends and family, people that actually we've had a positive effect on, hopefully. So in a way, yes, there's the memory of us, but is there something else, like a soul? Maybe, it's possible. But and she started bringing up EVPs, electronic voice phenomenon, and frankly, I'm interested in this stuff. I've heard EVPs. I haven't heard a single convincing EVP. They're all like, and then somebody will say, "Oh, that that was a child saying help me." Like, no, it wasn't. It was. That's my impression of an EVP. And she brings up TV shows like Ghost Hunters, and I'm like, Mom, it's TV. It's very possible, but the entire thing is staged. You don't know that. There's a show I watch called Chasing Mummies, and I suspect that 99% of it is staged, or at least like 80% of it. At least the fellows that they bring in, the students that are, studying archaeology. Yeah, I'm sure that tons of that is actually staged, and I actually don't like that fact because you get a lot of like soap opera drama stuff, and I'm like, stop it, just go into the tomb and show us the fucking tomb, right? But so and then my mom says that she believes in Bigfoot. And I didn't say anything, because I knew if I said anything, it would come out like, "You stupid bitch!" And that wouldn't help the discussion at all. It would no longer be a discussion, it would just be an argument. Bigfoot, just, woof, okay. And see, I'm not gonna just automatically, out of hand, reject somebody who is interested in cryptozoology and suspects that Bigfoot might be real, or may have been real, or something like that. But I believe in Bigfoot. Okay. So, I'm not even gonna go into that, because that's like a whole 15-minute video all its own about, blurry shots and hoaxes that have been exposed, like, people in costumes and con artists who say, "We'll take you out to look for Bigfoot in this part of the woods where he's been supposedly spotted." There's a group in Georgia here that does that, and really, yeah. So I just stayed quiet on the Bigfoot thing, and it's, I don't reject possibilities. I mean, in the sense of, there could have been something sitting on my chest. I was like, okay, a couple days ago, I was half asleep. I was awake, as in my eyes were open, my cat had woken me up, but I was still in that groggy, foggy, half-sleep state. And there was something about ancient Egypt on the TV, really loud. And, I had to have dozed off or something, or it was kind of a weird half-sleep, I don't know. And, for all I knew, I was talking to Horus, the ancient Egyptian god, and it felt real at the time. It was a funny conversation, too, and I told my mom about this, saying, wait. If you're going to tell me that these experiences are real, then you're going to have to accept that some of the more unusual ones are real. And, heck, I've had an experience, and this was after I listened to a free audiobook version of The Call of Cthulhu, where I was in this weird, somehow or another, I was paralyzed. I was awake looking at my eyelids, but my body was paralyzed, and I had the sense that I was in this conversation / dreamless sleep telepathic conversation with a bunch of sea monsters. So, well, is anybody with a straight face going to tell me that I was in contact with the deep ones? I mean, really? Or are you going to say, well, that was a really interesting hypnagogic hallucination? And I don't necessarily think that there couldn't be things like telepathy or like precognitive dreams or things like, or that there isn't a part of our energy or consciousness that couldn't survive the death of the body or something like that. I'm not going to completely discount those possibilities. I acknowledge them as possibilities. Though at this point, I don't think such things are very likely. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is, I don't like this idea that, well, either I'm going to believe, what people tell me on TV, and I'm going to be 100% sure there's life after death, which is retarded, or, and say, well, I don't know why XYZ happened, it must be a ghost, and I'm going to take things really personally when somebody suggests that it could be just the power of the human mind, because I'm going to take it like, you're crazy. No. I mean, I joke around a lot. I say, hey man, I am crazy. I mean, I've had wild experiences, but that doesn't mean that they were necessarily spiritual. But maybe some of them were. Maybe all of them were. Possible. So, that's my 2 cents on being pragmatic about all this stuff, and just me saying that I am pragmatic about all this stuff, though I generally take a pretty skeptical attitude. Excuse me. I burp in all my videos. It's like I don't burp, and then when I turn the camera on, I burp in all my fucking videos. Anyway. So, yeah, and if I sound nasally, it's because I'm congested. So. Alright. Well, I'm gonna hang out for a couple minutes, or a minute, so this doesn't cut me off. Do